Hello everyone, this is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and today I'm going to do a kind of fun video. I'm going to do a little home office tour, and I am tapping on my desk here. But I think I might end with this. So this is just a little sneak peek. Now I am holding my camera, so I imagine it will be a little bit shaky and pretty lo-fi. But let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with, I think, maybe the most boring. This is my office door, and my office room has kind of interesting dimensions. As you can see, this door is almost a little bit angled. So this isn't a perfectly square room. And then we do rent, so I am not the biggest fan of this like orange style wood. It's not my favorite, but I am also not about to spend money to upgrade something that we are just renting, or at least not the amount of money that I would need to spend to update all of our doors. So this is my door. And then over here, I have my light switch. And you can see the carpet as well. It's kind of, boring rental carpet. And over here, I have two accordion doors that lead to a closet. I don't think that I'm going to show you this closet just yet, but this is where I have been doing a lot of my recording since my husband and I swapped office rooms, mainly because when I got my new job I needed some more space and a larger desk. And then we reorganized our spare closets so that I could have this one mostly empty and have my small desk fit in here. So now when I want to film, I can just open up these doors and pull up my office chair and film. And then when I'm done, I can just close up the doors and everything is nicely tucked away. I don't have to deal with my tripods and moving things around. It's just so much easier, and it's so nice just to have it fully tucked away in a closet like this. So the closet is right there, and then moving over on this wall, I'm just gonna do a little scan of it. This is my main back wall for most of my kind of background, like what's visible in my background for meetings. Please ignore all of the cords and stuff down there. I'm terrible about cord management. But over here I have a bookshelf, and it doesn't really fit perfectly in this corner, but it was okay, and it was something that we already had, and it kind of fits my books pretty nicely. So I have a lot of books from college up here, and just some coloring books, some other kind of more fun ones, journals and notebooks. And I so wish that I had kept more textbooks from my college days, but I was a broke college student, and after every quarter I usually sold them back to the bookstore. So these are just my remaining few books that I do have that I did not sell back for whatever reason. And I think that a bookcase that kind of would like fill this little area would look nicer on this back wall, but in my Zoom background you can only see like a portion of my bookcase, so it's kind of an illusion of a bigger bookcase. So again, I'm not really too worried about it. I don't really want to spend the money on a bigger bookcase, especially if I don't have a ton of books that I would want up here in my office, because I have a lot more of our like home books in our bookshelf downstairs in the living room. Then on the top of the bookshelf, I have these really cheap plasticky kind of hanging plant vines, and I do like the planter that I put them in, but I actually had a different plant up here, and it is in my garage because I wanted to clean it and spray paint it so that it was not as vibrant of a green and it looked a little more realistic, but it is still in my garage kind of drying and airing out. And so this week I've just had this one up here filling in, but even though it's kind of, you know, it's very obviously cheap and fake looking, from afar in my Zoom meetings you can't even really tell, and I love having plants in the background, so I make do. And my bookshelf, you can see, has quite a bit of wear and tear. I have had this bookshelf for many years. I think I got this when I was, I don't even know, maybe 10. So it has traveled with me through college and my adult life, and it's honestly a pretty sturdy bookshelf. I think this probably originally came from IKEA or something, you know, similar like that, so it's kind of that quality, but I'm surprised at how well it has still held up. And then let's move over to this wall. So here I have 3 black floating shelves, and here I actually have my diploma, my master's degree here, but I obviously don't want to just blast that on the internet, so I printed out my little channel logo, and so that is what I just kind of popped in there. So this is just kind of like sat in there. I don't really want to mess with it too much because it might just fall out. It's not very sturdy, but I thought that was kind of cute to just have it there. And I have a few plans to do some videos facing this way, kind of like what I used to do in my old setup in our guest room, and just filming from my desk, but facing this way. So I wanted something that I could put in my little diploma case that kind of covers it nicely. So I have that, and then over here, this whole wall is just fake plants, and again, these are very cheap looking fake plants, and I am not too worried about it because I love having the illusion of being surrounded by plants. So here's this really long one with these very pretty bright green leaves. This is another one that I honestly could spray paint a little bit, and I think it would look a little more realistic because some of these leaves are like way too green. But I like this one just kind of draping down. And then that is the biggest black shelf. And these shelves, I think it's going to be a little hard to see with my camera, but these have some decorative lines there and a little shelf here so things don't just easily pop right off. And then up here on my middle-sized shelf or medium-sized shelf, I have another plant with this lovely gray pot. I really like this pot. I think it's really cute. And it's this kind of spriggy type of plant. I don't know anything about plants like these, so I can't really tell you what these are meant to be mimicking. But I really like this one. Again, I mean, it's obviously very cheap looking, but it's cute. And then lastly, I have this teeny tiny little baby shelf up here, and I have this draping plant with some of these, I don't even know, it's almost like little balls on the vines. And this one is quite rubbery. And I think this one is also kind of cute, and I just have that in the plain black pot. So it doesn't have a little special plot. And that's the same with this one over here, because I figured these ones are kind of covering up the pot so much that I'm just gonna, leave it as is. So that is my back wall with the shelves right by my bookcase. And then right below those shelves here, you can see I have this little brown ottoman. And this is actually a storage ottoman. And if you cannot tell by the wear on this, this is also something that my husband and I have had for many, many years, and we bought it used, so it was already well loved. But it is this lovely fake leather. And here I have a couple of pillows and a throw blanket. So this pillow here is 1/2 of a set. So I have 2 pillows like this. You'll see the other one in just a minute. And it has all of these kind of crisscrossy, almost chevron-like arrows. It's very soft, and this is one that has actually been on my channel before in some of my pillow scratching, fabric scratching videos. And then I have this really cute little succulent pillow. It's like a little stuffy, and it is the cutest thing, and it has a little round bottom. And I love having it just kind of propped up here off to the side of the white pillow like that. And this is something that my husband actually got me a while ago, I think for a birthday. It was just like one of my little gifts that he threw in, but he found it and he thought that I would really like it and find it cute, and I definitely do. I think it's really adorable. And the ottoman here is a very deep brown, and it has these buttons, so it almost looks tufted. I think that's what it would be called. And this does open, and I'm not going to do that because that would be kind of disruptive, but here you can see the bottom, and it has even more wear over here on this corner and on the feet, but this part here just kind of pops right up, and then there's a storage space in there, and we use that for some extra throw blankets. And then right here I have a very soft throw blanket that I very frequently use while I'm working because I get a little bit chilly in the mornings, and I love having a blanket on my lap. So this is usually just kind of what I use for that. It's very soft, and it's kind of lightweight, so it's not too heavy. Alright, so that is this section here. on my back wall. So let's move over to this section. So here you can see I have kind of a little sitting corner. So I've got my chair here and a shelf lamp right here and a puzzle in a picture frame that might look a little familiar to some of you that have seen some of my videos. In the old room, this was hanging above our guest bed, but I loved it, and so I wanted to move it into this room. And this is in a black frame, and it just has a plexiglass cover in the front, and it is a puzzle of all of these very cute house plants and succulents, and it's just so adorable. And it was a very, very difficult puzzle, but I really, really enjoy it. I think it is so cute. And so I glued the back, or I got these little like sticky sheets that you just like put on the back of the puzzle, and it helps keep it together. And then I was able to hang it up in this lovely frame. And then down here I have a chair, and it is this beautiful, beautiful red wood. I don't really know much about wood, but it is gorgeous. And we found this, I think, for $10 at a thrift store, and it is a fully solid wood chair, and it is gorgeous and heavy. This thing is super heavy, and I just really loved it. It's kind of not really my style, because I really like kind of clean and modern things, but for some reason I just loved this. And I right now have just a little gray cushion, and I think I need a different size cushion, but it's what I had, so that's just what I have there. And then on the back of the chair I have the other white pillow. But let me move this pillow and show you that full chair. So I think this is definitely maybe like a big dining chair or something, but I kind of like it. And I think in the background it looks like I just have a really cute little cozy like reading nook, because I have my bookshelf and a cute little ottoman and a lovely chair with my lamp. So I think it all kind of goes together in a somewhat eclectic way, but I think it's cute. Let's move over to this lamp. So here I have quite a bright white light bulb in here, and I think I want to get something that's a little bit more warm, not quite yellow, but this is like hospital lighting, and I don't want hospital lighting in here. And this lamp has this lovely little pull tab, which is so much more convenient than lamps that have the little twisties like up here. Like that's just always the worst, trying to like angle your hand to try and get it. So I like that it has this little pull tab. And here I have a picture frame, and this, I actually have plans to put a picture of my dog Edna in here. And I did actually get a few prints done, and I just haven't chosen which picture I want to put in here. So right now I just have this little plant print in the background here. And here are the just kind of square shelves for the lamp. and it has these round poles. And we actually have a really similar lamp in our living room, except it's a little bit like heftier, and this definitely feels a little cheaper, but I think it works fine in the corner of my office. And then on this second shelf, I have another fake plant, and this one is almost like a fern, and it has this adorable little pot, and it is so cute, and I love it so much. And this one I think might be recognizable because it was usually kind of peeking into a lot of my videos, and I think some of my early videos I even have it in the corner of my desk quite visible. But right now I just have it on this middle shelf of my lamp. It has these different types of ferns, and it's cute, and I think I probably should, clean this up a little bit. I think it's maybe a little dusty, but also some of these are quite like sun bleached. So I should take a little bit of my green plant spray paint to these at some point, but I don't want to ruin this lovely pot, so I would have to really make sure this is nicely covered. So that is my middle shelf, and then my lamp does have a bottom shelf here, but I don't currently have anything down there, so I only have my fake fern here in my little picture frame there. But I don't really know what I would put on this bottom shelf. I think it's mostly there for structural support for the lamp, so I don't really have anything down there. But yeah, I mean, you could put something down there. So that is this little area here on my back wall. And let's turn to this area, which is a bit of a mess with all of my cords. I have like a phone charger down here. I have a little wax melter and everything. It looks like a mess. But I have a little stand here for my printer and for some extra office storage. I love this little stand. I've had it for quite a while, and it has been with me through quite a few jobs and moves. And I have a window right here. I'm going to try not to show too much out the window. And on my windowsill, I have a couple of succulents. This one is a completely new one for me. I've only had it I think for about a month, but I got it when I first kind of started my new job. I wanted just to buy something to celebrate, and I bought this succulent that was looking very sad at the nursery. So I'm trying to nurse it back to health, and it's looking okay, but you can see like this one here in the back is looking a bit rough. But in my next succulent video, I think I'll show you this one in a little bit more detail. I have this one that I'm loving. It is getting so much good sun, and it's having a great time with it. This one over here is going a little crazy, and I definitely need to do some pruning and trimming, but I am a little bit lazy right now, so I have not done that. But all of the babies over here. So I have a few plants, and I do have a few extra pots that I want to put some cuttings in so that I can fill my windowsill with real plants. But I think succulents are kind of the only plants that I can consistently keep somewhat alive and healthy. So I'm not gonna try and mess around with like house plants for anywhere else in this room. And then here on my printer, I have some cartridges because inevitably our printer is running out of ink. And so I needed to get some more, and we just haven't replaced it because I always like to get like every last bit of ink that I can out of my printer. And I have a couple of little bookmarks here that I just placed in here and I haven't really brought downstairs yet. And this here is actually a portable charger. I had it up here for, I don't even remember. I think I was trying to charge my phone and I couldn't find my extra phone charger because I had it packed away. So I think I was just using this for a while, but I don't really need it anymore up here, so I should bring it downstairs too. And this here is a little wax melter, and I think this one is so cute. I think the design is adorable. I think I just got this one at Walmart when I was in college. And I don't actually have any wax in here right now because I cleaned it out and I keep forgetting to go downstairs and grab a new wax cube. But I do love how this looks anyways. I think it's really cute. And this is the front of my little stand here. So I have a few different drawers. I'm not going to open these because these are all kind of messy and they have a lot of my work stuff in it. So it has these drawers, and then it also has this cabinet here with some shelves. So it's kind of nice to have drawers and shelving over here. But that is my little printer stand and my little windowsill with my plants. Oh, and then this is just a little like watering bottle. So when I need to water my plants, I just go fill this up in the bathroom, and then it really makes it easy to like get, close to the soil. And from here, I'm gonna just pan over. This here is my desk, and I'm gonna go through all of this. And I have kind of a little mini gallery wall. And here I have a wedding picture of me and my husband, and I just put a little post-it note over our faces. And this desk is brand new to me. I've only had it for a couple of weeks, and I love it so much. And you might be able to guess from these buttons here that this is a sit-stand desk. And that is why I have this treadmill, this kind of ugly looking thing over here, because I have a fully remote job, which means a lot of meetings, a lot of sitting, and a lot of afternoons of just kind of doing spreadsheets and documents and all of that fun stuff. So I wanted a desk that I could easily transition from sitting to standing, and so that is why my paintings are kind of really high above my desk, because when my desk is raised, I didn't want my monitors and desk like knocking into my paintings and stuff. And so this is a little walking pad, and I love it so far. I've had this for about a week, and it is so convenient, and it just really helps me get out of that like late afternoon slump. And this desk has two drawers, two little pull-out drawers, as well as a keyboard tray with my very dirty like wrist pad here. And here is my office chair, and this is an old office chair that I should probably replace, but honestly, it's still doing me good, so I'm gonna stick with it. So maybe I will show you my art first. So I have this print here that I actually got from my mother-in-law because she was redecorating some rooms in their house, and she was gonna get rid of this, and I thought that it was kind of really pretty and cute, so I wanted it for this little side wall. And then I have this little hanging like macrame thing that my husband's grandmother made just as a fun little craft. And she asked me if I wanted it, and I thought it was really cute with the kind of the lush pink color. So I have that hanging right there. And then this is so funny. This one is an alpaca or a llama. I'm terrible at knowing the difference, but this is something that one of my brothers got for me one Christmas, and he thought that I would like it, or it reminded him of me. Just maybe indicative of like a good, classic sibling relationship, that he thought that I looked like a llama. I don't know. But I think that it is so funny and quirky, and I just love it so much, and it cracks me up, and it's got like a little wonky smile, and it's just so funny. So it makes me think of my brother. I think it's really funny. And then here I just have some kind of like pinky orange, like square canvas prints that I thrifted forever ago, and these are very, I think, just basic, prints, but I have them, so I use them, and I think that they're kind of cute. So that is what is on my little wall here. Let's do my desk now. So here I have a couple of little fake flowers, and these flowers are actually some Lego flowers that my husband and I put together in a video not too long ago. And I found this little vase, and then this. These are some adorable little clay tulips that my husband got me when we were early dating. I think this was maybe my first or second birthday that we had together. And this comes in a little clay terracotta pot, and it has this little like wood crate just as like easy storage, but I think it is so adorable, so I keep it in the little wooden crate, and it's just so cute, and it's just really adorable, so I like having it on my desk. And then here I have a little picture. This is just a wedding picture of me and my husband. And then this paper I turned around, but this has my husband's like class / work schedule, and so I have this, flipped around usually, so I can just really quickly, easily reference it, so I kind of know when to expect him home, or if he has like late work stuff. So I just like to have that on my desk. And it is in the afternoon, so I actually just got done working. So I have some of my stuff kind of still out, like this cup. This is a plastic reusable cup, and this is from Woods Coffee. And Woods is a coffee shop franchise in northwestern Washington State, and I think that I just kind of got this on our last trip to Bellingham, because we love Bellingham, and that is like very north Washington State, and we picked up this cup, and so I had this just filled with some sparkling water while I was working this afternoon. And then at the back of my desk, I'm going to try and show you. I have a few little kind of self-care things. I have a little hair clip here, and a couple of lip products, some hand lotion, and then a few nail tools, because I hate when I have snags in my nails, and I just like to have a little file and a couple of little tools to just kind of quickly deal with it. And then here I usually keep a couple of pads of sticky notes. I do usually have a lot of sticky notes like stuck on the bottom here or on the bottom of my monitors, but I moved them for this video because I didn't want my work stuff just kind of out there. And then I have my little notebook that I've also used on my channel before, and a pen. And then this case is just a case for some headphones, so some Bluetooth headphones. Sometimes in the afternoons, if I don't have any more meetings and I'm just working on spreadsheets or reports, I'll usually just pop in my headphones and maybe listen to a podcast. Or sometimes, if I'm just kind of wanting to be in the zone, I might turn on a good background ASMR video. And I really like this desk top. It's like a kind of blonde white wood. Again, I don't know anything about wood. But it's not quite white, but it's not like a brown. Like, it's just a really, really pretty wood color. And I put this desk together by myself. And it took me a few hours, but it was one of the most satisfying pieces of furniture that I've ever put together. And I think that it is so nice. It is so much bigger than my last desk. So you can see I have a dual monitor setup, but I also have my little laptop here with my webcam, because I do like to use this usually for like when I'm actually doing meetings. I'll have the little meeting window here, and then I have documents that I'm, working on or referencing. I'll have those on my external monitors up there. And then down here I do just have a little metal trash can. And I do have this little space over here because I wanted my desk nicely centered on the wall. And I thought that I might be able to slide my treadmill there, and I think I could if I scooched this stand over, but I like having the stand where it is, so I just kind of deal with this weird space. I don't really know what I'm going to do about it. And I have my little work docking station there, and I have some tissues over here. And I have everything like on my right hand side. I don't really have much over on this part of the desk, but I am right-handed. So I guess everything I kind of want to reach for is over here. And then over here I have my treadmill remote. And on this side of my desk, I just pop up my little treadmill. It's super easy to move around, and it's just really, really convenient. Again, for those afternoons, those long afternoons, when I just kind of want to zone out and get some work done, but I also want to get some movement. So this treadmill has been really great for that. I have been thinking about maybe getting a desk lamp, because my lighting in here is a little bit not great. And so I was thinking I could put my desk lamp like over in that back corner. I could get a little standing lamp for over there. I guess that is something I could do, and that would fill up that corner, but I don't really know. But that is my home office setup. Again, it's a little bit eclectic, but it works for me, and I think the little background here is cute in my work meetings. I hope that you enjoyed this little office tour. Please let me know if you would like to see my little filming closet setup, and I think I will do another little tour of that. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope that